Oh, what's good, man? My name is Flimlo Raps, and today I want to give you guys my thoughts on the offensive players at the combine, okay? The defensive players start their on-the-field workouts actually today and tomorrow. So I'll talk about my overall view of that probably either late Monday or on Tuesday. If something crazy happens in between, I may make a short video just to go ahead and commemorate that. But as far as today goes, I just want to talk about the offensive skill positions: quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs, tight ends. Now, I've already made a couple of videos on this, and what this is not is me going into detail about every single player. You can find that information anywhere. I'm only gonna be speaking about who stood out to me, who impressed me the most, the one guy who impressed me the most at each position. I'm gonna give my reasoning behind it. You could tell me who impressed you the most at each position or at a single position that you might disagree with. Just hit me up in the comment section. A lot of us may be looking for different things, so we might have, different things might impress us. I'm gonna start at the quarterback position. Let's go ahead and get it out the way. Yeah, Deshaun Watson. A lot of y'all know I've been a Deshaun Watson fan for a good little while now. And the main reason that I've always been a Deshaun Watson fan continues to be the most impressive thing I've seen. And it's weirdly one of the most overlooked thing by fans. It's so crazy. This is one of the most overlooked thing by casual fans, is a guy's mental aptitude for performing under pressure. It is so huge. So many quarterbacks come into the league, they got the strongest arm, they're the most accurate, oh, they're so smart, they can break down anything. When they get on that field and they've been a winner their whole life, and they go to the worst team in the league or one of the worst teams in the league and they start getting their ass whooped, they crumble. They fucking crumble. They get the yips. They're never the same. So many of these quarterbacks, bro, the Brady Quinns, the Colt McCoys, all these guys, and the list goes on and on and on, but I don't want to get into that. My point is, the reason I'm such a big Deshaun Watson fan, and the reason I think, barring major injury, that he will be a very good NFL quarterback. Maybe not in year one. I don't know. Maybe you'll just see flashes in year one. But mark my words, 2-3 years down the line, when we look at this class, I definitely believe that Deshaun Watson will be the cream of the crop, due almost entirely to his ability to deal with adversity. Now, first off, dude's a winner. He's like, 33-2 over his Clemson career. Beat Alabama, who, regardless of what anybody else might think in the comment section, the experts say Alabama had the most NFL-ready defense in college football. He faced that defense twice on the biggest fucking stage in the national championship with all the pressure on, all the lights on. What did he do? 2 dubs. 2 dubs. He threw like 7 touchdowns and maybe 1 pick, I think, in 2 games against that team. Won both of them. You gotta take that into consideration. I looked at another game where he wasn't the underdog, okay? Look at the Louisville game. Now, first and foremost, that was a really good game, but the quarterback play on both sides was shoddy. But my main takeaway from that game is the same thing I always see from Deshaun. If he has a bad start, he always finishes strong. That is huge for a quarterback, man. Quarterbacks usually, bad start, they clam up. I have to bring it up. I'm sorry, Ohio State fans. JT Barrett. When I see JT Barrett get into a funk, like he'll miss a throw, he clams up, man. He tightens up, and the only thing he wants to throw is that little curl route, you know what I mean, for 4 yards. He don't want to take no more chances. He don't want to try to make any difficult throws. Deshaun doesn't have that, okay? He shows up at the combine. If you watch it, you gotta, all this shit's on YouTube, bro. I can't upload it because I don't want to get hit. Oh my God, I wish I could. But when you see him dropping back, anticipation, super smooth, no worries, bro. I know I can do this. I got this shit. He's not forcing it. He's not out there trying to aim his throws. He's just letting that bitch rip. Ran a 4.6 40, which is great. I think he's one of those players that's actually a little bit quicker than fast, but 4.6 is obviously fast for a quarterback. Then he put on another 10 pounds of muscle On top of that, sneakily, look just as smooth as always, still ran the 4.6, but obviously has beefed up a little bit. Deshaun Watson is my pick for who's going to be the most successful quarterback. I'll talk real quick about another guy that a lot of people are talking about, that's Mitch Trubisky. I ain't sold on Mitch, bro. I'm not sold on Mitch, and the reason is very simple. To me, it says a ton. If you was at a place and you never could take the starting spot, if you couldn't take the starting spot to your senior year, unless you were playing behind a really amazing guy. Obviously, there's exceptions. First person come to mind, Tom Brady. Mitch Trubisky, he started like 13 games. And it doesn't mean he won't be good, but he won't be good right away. He won't. He just hasn't seen enough. He hasn't played enough quarterback, I don't think. So his learning curve, I believe, is going to take a lot longer. Also, I don't think he has developed the mental aspect of it as far as the mental toughness. I ain't talking about reading defenses. I'm talking about being able to step in, take L's, make mistakes, shake back. And it's been reported, this come out of his own locker room, he's not an A personality. That is a dangerous thing coming from your quarterback position. You do want your quarterback to be an alpha, a leader. Think Dak Prescott. You know what I mean? How guys just gravitate around him. You'll see Dak interacting at the Pro Bowl or something. You be like, that dude right there is. You know what I mean? I don't see that with Mitch. Anyway, next up, jumping to the running backs. And again, I did a whole video on this, so I won't spend a lot of time on it. But I thought Leonard Fournette and Dalvin Cook did great. I think they both did really good. But Christian McCaffrey, in my opinion, definitely stole the show. Kamara did well. A lot of people want to talk about TJ Logan. He ran fast, but when I watch him, and I'm not even just watching his film. I didn't watch a whole bunch of UNC, but when I watch even his highlights, man, his vision, I don't think he's got it. You know, I don't think he's got it. You can put me down. Not a believer in TJ Logan. I mean, obviously he's fast. He'll have a couple big plays here and there, but will he be a consistent impact player? I don't think so. Okay. I did a whole video on the running back, so I'm not going to spend much time there. I'm going to go ahead and move to the receivers, okay? Obviously, we all already talked about John Ross. He ran a 4.2 40, which completely changed the conversation on John Ross, and that has definitely boosted his draft stock. Moving on to Mike Williams. Hasn't run his 40 yet. Isn't going to do it until his pro day. And I don't really think it matters very much. He'll be the first receiver taken. But obviously, if he comes out and runs like a 4.5, then I think that'll cement that and give teams a lot more confidence to maybe take him, you know, even higher than they may have been willing to. We're talking about with another position. I don't see you drafting another receiver before Mike Williams. But of course, you know, I don't know what the hell they're going to do. It's going to depend on need and everything like that. And I will be looking at all that and probably doing a mock draft coming up. You know what I'm saying? A person who I think had an overrated day is Curtis Samuel. And I hate these guys are gonna hate me because I'm picking on their players. But I'm just saying, Curtis Samuel ran 4.3, but doesn't look like a natural receiver. He's too small to be a natural running back. So it puts him in a weird spot because, in my opinion, like when you think about people who play kind of receiver / running back, Percy Harvin. Like Percy Harvin had fucking good ass hands. He had money hands. You know, Curtis Samuel, he's a body catcher, bro. Let's keep it G. He's a body catcher. You know what I'm saying? He's not. They described him as a jack of all trades but master of none. You know, and that's a tough spot to be. Now he can go to the perfect situation with somebody who knows how to use him perfectly and be successful. Or he can just develop, you know what I'm saying? If he plays wide receiver full time, you know, in the slot or whatever, he developed route running, and you know, you don't have to be the most natural catcher to be effective at receiver. I mean, T.O. should be in the Hall of Fame. That motherfucker ain't have good hands. I mean, but he caught everything. He caught it with his body, but he caught it. so it didn't matter. You feel me? But you know, that's that. And then the last thing I want to talk about real quick, offensively, tight ends. O.J. Howard cemented himself as a first rounder. Gerard Evans, he surprised me. I thought he was a 4.55. He ran a 4.42, I think, which changes it up a little bit. That changes him from a second rounder, from a mid second rounder to either early second rounder, maybe even a late first rounder. His route running looked really good, bro. His catching looked really good, really natural. So that really puts him in a different class, because it's almost like, and a lot of people, like I talked to, will compare him to Jimmy Graham. I don't compare him to Jimmy Graham at all. I mean, he's light skinned, he plays tight end, and he's not traditional. That's it. But Jimmy Graham is not a good route runner. He runs seam routes. You know what I'm saying? When he played in New Orleans, I used to watch Jimmy Graham every fucking day, because the New Orleans game is always on, you know, locally. So, and they were fun to watch at that time. They're still pretty fun to watch, so I watch their games. But anyway, yeah, Jimmy runs a seam route. He's big as hell. He was too fast for the linebackers, too big for most DBs, until Talib like really just jammed the shit out of him that one time, and then he kind of went downhill from there. But anyway, Ingram, I probably called him something completely different. If I did, I don't know. Evan Ingram though. Yeah, Evan Ingram. I think I might have screwed his name up. I'm not sure if I said it right the first time, but I think he's a lot better than I thought he was. You know, basically is all I gotta say about it. He's a lot better than I thought he was. I think he can really be trained up once he learns how to really sit in these zones and get open like that. I think he'll be fine in man coverage. And you know, a lot of these guys, even guys that I didn't mention, it's going to depend on where they go and how they're used. All of these guys, if you at the combine, you have a skill set, okay? If you're being considered in the first, second, or third round especially, you have a skill set, you know what I'm saying? And it's really going to depend on how you're used, or what kind of system you go to, what coaches are around you, how much they believe in you, you know, and then obviously the last variable is how much work you're actually going to put in to improve. So all of that remains to be seen, but those are the guys that I'm feeling the most excited about as far as just watching, coming up and watching them develop. I think they got the best upside as far as I'm concerned. That kid from Miami, that tight end too, he just looks like a beast. I don't know how good he's going to be right off, because he's only like 20 years old or something, but yeah, he does look like a beast. Dude from Miami. I can't think of his name right now. Final thoughts. The wide receiver class is really deep. Really deep. Like, I think it's a lot of good wide receivers. Obviously, a lot of them dudes was missing from the combine, so they're kind of out of sight, out of mind right now. But when their pro days come around and draft day comes around, they'll be right back in the conversation. I'm excited today to see how Jabril looks. Obviously, I think most of us agree he is a safety, but he's going to be doing linebacker drills also. So I don't know how that's going to go. We're going to see. And, you know, I'm wishing him the best. Big Jabril fan. So I'll definitely be making another video about that. But like I said, I wanted to sit down and just kind of give y'all my overall thoughts on, you know, offensive players at the combine. That's it. If I missed anything y'all wanted to hear me talk about or maybe get my opinion on, just hit me up in the comment section. I'm glad to make a video on it. Other than that, don't forget, like the video, hit me up in the comment section, subscribe if you happen to be brand new. Other than that, I'm gonna holler at you next time, man. Flim Low Raps.